are so helpful inside of Airtable because they allow you and your team to create your own look inside of the data without interfering with anyone else. It shows you the most relevant information you need to see, like the most relevant fields, sorted in a certain way and filtered on a specific column. It's really important that you know views like the back of your hand so you can set up spaces for your team to work inside of that's really relevant and core to their workflow. We're going to go through all of the different types of views, how to adjust and customize them, and how you can go about building the most useful views for your team. We're going to talk about the grid view to start off. This view resembles spreadsheets the most, and I think it's most simple to comprehend. In the left-hand section, you have a list of all of your views. And we're going to talk through each one of these different types of views. Generally speaking, I always like to rename my views something specific and descriptive to what I'm trying to do in that view. Once I've named it, I customize it, and everybody should be encouraged to customize their own views. You can hide or show different fields that are relevant to that particular process. And we've actually already been doing that. In the different views that we have different fields showing. For example, in time logs, we only show the fields relevant to time logs. And in our budget view, we only showed the fields relevant to the budget. And this is really helpful because in spreadsheets, you're stuck filtering and sorting together. So if I filter and sort something, then my colleagues will see those filters and sorts, which might not be relevant for their workflow. Whereas inside of Airtable, everyone can create their own views so that they can visualize the information they need. And these views get saved anyway, so you can come back to them in the future. There's also a distinction between collaborative views and personal views. If you want to make something a personal view, you can definitely do that. It looks like at this point this is a pro feature. It used to not be that way, but you can definitely have personal views so that there's less clutter for your team. I will move this space into a pro workspace in a moment just so I can show you those features. So you can hide and show fields. You can also filter your data. For example, in this view, if I only wanted to look at projects over $10,000, then I can create a filter to do that. After I've filtered it, I have less data to look at. You can also group based on different fields. For example, I would like to group my projects based on the clients. So now I can easily see there are 3 projects for Cherry's coffee shop and 2 projects for John's guitar shop. You can also sort all the projects based on all sorts of different qualities. And in this case, I'm going to put the smallest project at the top. Once it's sorted, the column will actually highlight as orange. Color looks like another pro feature, so I'll show you in just a moment. You can also change the height of the row itself. All right, I've just moved our base into a pro workspace so we can see some of the extra features here. One of them is being able to color the records. So you can use this very similar to a filter where You can filter based on different values and then color your records differently. For example, we can put all of our completed tasks as green and all of our in progress tasks as yellow. You can add multiple colors, so I'll add the in progress tasks as yellow. Now as you scroll through your database, you can see green and yellow highlights. Airtable isn't able to highlight based on a cell, but it does highlight the front of a record by row. The other option you can use for highlighting is based on a single select field. For now, I'm going to change my project status to a single select field. My colors got removed because I updated the type of field it is. When you're setting up a color, you can also use the single select field as your color. And now at the front, you can see the different colors based on the single select field options. If you're to change the colors in your single select field options, then the colors on the record will also change. There are a couple of ways of setting up the different colors, and the colors do go by the specific view. They can be cumbersome to set up, so one of the things you can do is try duplicating a view. Just like we duplicate fields to save time, we can also duplicate views to save ourselves some time. You can choose to duplicate a view, or you can also copy another view's configuration. When you copy a view's configuration, you first select which view you want to copy from. And you can copy its field order, field visibility, lots of things to do with that view. And you can select multiple options, and you don't need to select every single one, so you can pick and choose. It really gives you a lot of flexibility to be able to set up views easily. Now that I've copied another view's configuration, you can see my fields have completely changed. The last piece I want to explain inside of a view is how you can share the view externally. Sharing is always one of those things we get questions on, and one of the most frequent questions we get is we just want to share our view or a sample set of our data externally. How do we do that without giving someone full access? You can do that using the Share View option here. Once you click on this, you can configure how this view can be shared. You can prevent people from copying data outside of your view. You can also allow data in your view to be synced to a separate base entirely. We'll talk more about synced bases later on. You also have the option to show or not show all other fields when someone expands the record. Most often, we turn this toggle off because the reason why we're sharing the view externally is because we only want that person to see a subsection of the data or a subsection of the fields. You can also restrict access with a password. You will have to share that password with the person that's getting your view. You can also restrict access to a particular email domain so that others outside of your organization or outside of your partner organization cannot see the data. Lastly, you can embed the view on your website. There's an embed code that you can use to embed that particular view, either on a Google form, on a separate page on your website. There's lots of different use cases for embedding. Thanks for investing in your own knowledge base. I'm Cherry Yang, the founder of Clairbase. We're going to be releasing our flagship course, Airtable Mastery, for free. In the course, you can find over 100 videos on topics like design, integration, automations, and interfaces. It's perfect for the Airtable champion who wants to build their database right the first time. You can sign up for the course at the link down below.